use the angle and where the ball's gonna land on the rim. He out there counting the spins on the ball. Like that's
did all the dirty work, you know, dove on the ground, you know, took charges, got into people. The dirty work.
That was crazy. My son Dennis really put his body on the line. Like,
Dennis wasn't much of a talker as much as he was like a pest. Would try to get in your head and do stuff to try to get you out of your game. That was his strong suit.
All they doing now is trying to mess with me, try to get in my head.
Y'all see the title, man. Let's get straight to it.
I got Nick Van Axel, Nick the Quick, and Dominic the Human highlight film, Wickens. Let's have a look.
Jordan feeds Pippen, who's backhand. Wow. Holy mackerel. That's a highlight film. Believe me, that right there, that belongs in a highlight film.
I think the Worm just doesn't get a lot of credit for how smart he was, how good his basketball IQ was. You know, he didn't.
Nah, because I just want to say this early in the video. I heard somebody say, Draymond, I said Draymond, my fault. Dennis Rodman used to count the amount of spins each player though, like each player that would shoot the ball, he would count how many spins they would have on the ball during warm-ups. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how many rotations he could determine where the ball is gonna go. You know, usually people just use the angle and where the ball is gonna land on the rim. He out there counting the spins on the ball. Like that's
did all the dirty work, you know, dove on the ground, you know, took charges, got into people. The dirty work.
That was crazy. My son Dennis really put his body on the line. Like, you say that's a super big.
Took charges, got into people's heads, you know, frustrated them. But the Worm had a very, very good IQ. And a lot of people really didn't know that about him. They just thought he was just a crazy man running around with, you know, all kind of colors in his head. But it was a reason why he fit in with Chicago was because of his IQ. Dennis Rodman didn't care about scoring the ball. You know, Dennis Rodman can go 0 points, but 15 rebounds. He take 2 charges, may get 4 or 5 assists. He impacted the game where it's not really in the stat sheets other than the rebounding. And that's why he was so successful. And for a guy to make it to the Hall of Fame, you know, and not being a scorer, like just a straight deep, like I love playing defense. I'm going to lock you down tonight. That was Dennis Rodman.
That's one of the greatest defensive players to ever play this game. That's a fierce competitor. Dennis wasn't much of a talker as much as he was like a pest. Would try to get in your head and do stuff to try to get you out of your game. That was his strong suit.
All they doing now is trying to mess with me, try to get in my head.
Nah, yeah, he definitely did do that. And I ain't gonna lie, I probably didn't even realize it was really on purpose. I thought Dennis was just really being himself. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like even with this little stuff he used to do with Shaq, like he used to get a little bucket, throw a little, go wild, do little elbows and shit. Shaq get tight and shit. Like, what are you doing? Like, I gonna call that on Dennis? Nah, he definitely do that on purpose.
You can't mess with the master. You can't mess with the master.
A versatile athlete and a savvy competitor, Dennis Rodman dedicated himself to frustrating.
That's a few times he really put his body full 180-degree angle.
And disrupting the opposition.
I had to think like
Dennis took the responsibility of guarding the other team's top scorer all the time, regardless of who he was.
This is Jordan at 1-and-1 now. Rodman won't give an inch.
He is truly the only person I've ever known that could guard all 5 positions. And I don't mean just guard him a little bit.
Wait, is that?
Clamp down and shut down.
In addition to his 7 all-defensive first-team selections, Rodman also won 7 straight rebounding titles, averaging a staggering 16.7 boards over that span. Quite a feat for a player not much bigger than a shooting guard.
Most people think he's 6'9", 260. And Dennis was maybe a half an inch taller than me at 6'6", 220. And he impacted the game a lot bigger.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score a basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
You got to throw him in the category of some of the greats like Bill Russell.
Rebound Rodman. He's unbelievable at that. Best in the league.
Like a Wilt Chamberlain.
Rodman's tap is rebound number 34.
What y'all think about that? Is he? You know what I'm saying? Y'all think he? I don't think. I ain't gonna lie. I mean.
Dominate the game.
I'm gonna let y'all answer that. I don't think Rodman's up there with Bill and Wilt, but I get what you're saying with the defensive prowess and all that. But
that's when you talk to me every practice. Said, Dennis, this all you gotta do is this a triangle, this, and I picked it up pretty easy because I knew I didn't have to shoot the ball. I just got to get the rebound, play defense, and give it back to the people that need it to score.
The main thing I used to marvel how he would stand straight up. He showed no tendencies to butt that, the basics of defense and how you do it. The guy could run all day. He could run all day, man, in the game. He never got tired. That's why you saw him diving in the stands all over the floor.
Effort. Come on. Rodman embarrassing the Knicks now off the glass.
He was in after the game. He used to ride the stationary bike. When he was with the Pistons, he was quiet and shy.
Yeah.
He was just into basketball because he was unheralded coming out of college. And he had to earn it, man. He had to work his way into the league and get the respect of people. And, and that's what he did early on in his career. So, still, I think one of the best rebounders and defensive players ever.
Carlin Dennis, the menace of the worm, right here, 6'7", 210 pounds of fury.
Dennis, when you were 19, 20 years old, I bet you never thought that one day you would hang an NBA All-Star jersey up on your wall.
Not at all. I didn't expect to have anything hanging up on the wall. I know I wasn't there because I was a scoring machine. I was there. I didn't expect.
That's crazy. I wouldn't even expect this. Like, he didn't even think
you would
like
hang an
that's
NBA
crazy.
All-Star jersey up on your wall.
Not at all. I didn't expect to have anything hanging up on the wall. I know I wasn't there because I was a scoring machine. I was there because I worked my butt off. I didn't know it was going to be this, but the way I am today.
I always feel like you really cannot talk about the NBA from a historical perspective without talking about Dennis Rodman. Because in my opinion, that's how much of an impact that he made, which is rare for someone with his notoriety that don't have no interest in scoring the basketball. And that's normally where you get most of the glory from. But he took pride on the defensive end, and at 6'8", I think he led the league in rebounding 7 consecutive years, and a heck of a defensive player also.
There's no place to throw it. Hakeem inside.
The identity of the bruising Detroit Pistons teams.
That was tough. I pre that. I just realized
defensive player also.
There's no place to throw it. Hakeem inside.
The identity of the bruising Detroit Pistons teams that won back-to-back NBA titles in 1989 and 1990.
Whenever we went on the floor and we were in deep championship playoff series, this guy would be in his own world about winning. You just saw it dripping off of him. You just saw on his face the passion he had for the game.
Come on, man. Come on, man. The passion, bro. I understand, bro. Like, real shit. I already know. What? Come on, boy.
I wanted this one so bad.
Rodman's dedication and selfless team play were exactly what the once rival Chicago Bulls were looking for as they reloaded for their second three-peat run in the late 1990s.
Definitely was a piece that we were needing at that time. Someone that could come in and bring some toughness, a good defender as well as a great rebounder. He brought all those tools to our team.
Rodman with the offensive rebound that ties an NBA Finals record.
He really put us at a point where we were dominant.
I came in 96, 97, 98, right during that championship run and played against them. And obviously, we know how great the Bulls were and how dominant they were. And you understood why. Dennis Rodman's the best rebounder that I ever went against, the strongest guy I ever went against. A guy, it was virtually impossible for me to post up, just too strong. And I played against Dennis Rodman in the era where you can hand check. And that's the worst to be because that's where he's at his best because he's able to use his body and hand check and control you.
I can't be like all the rest of these people here and try to be something that I'm not. What you see is what you get. If you don't like it, that's your tough luck. But I'm just trying to go out there and play for the people, make people happy. That's it.
Ever seen Dennis Rodman played, I had one of the best seats in the house because it was against my beloved Indiana Pacers. March 4th, 1992, We're an upstart young Indiana Pacers team. They were still the bad boys of the Central Division and of the Eastern Conference and champions and so forth. In Detroit, here we are trying to make a name for ourselves. And it was a pretty good game, but Dennis Rodman put on an absolute rebounding clinic.
Top of the key, no. Rebound, Rodman. Great pass by Worm.
Again, Rodman keeping it alive. How many times does he get his hands on the basketball?
His career high, 34 rebounds, 18 of them at the
I'm pretty sure this was one of the slower paced eras in the NBA history, man. So that just goes to show, bro.
Offensive end. We went down in overtime to the Pistons, but it was an unbelievable rebounding performance by the Worm, the great one, Dennis Rodman.
So how good was Dennis Rodman in my opinion? Well, I said it, I think, countless times on my show already. To me, Dennis Rodman is probably one of the best top 3 defenders of all time. This guy was a genius on the basketball court. Not only a great on-ball defender, a great help set defender, great at boxing out, great in rebounding, the psychology.
Put in that effort, really. You know what I'm saying? Bro, we definitely got to react to some more defensive players, bro. Because I love defense. Some of you who've been here, like from the jump, really know. Because we react to some little defensive highlight. I love when, you know what I'm saying, somebody really full court, 94 feet, lock somebody down. You know what I'm saying? We on. You know what I'm saying? Start clapping up in his face. Yeah! You know what I'm saying? We need that energy. I ain't gonna lie. I love it. I love it, man. We definitely gonna react to some defensive highlights. Of course. Send me the some defensive highlights y'all would like me to see, or some players y'all would like me to react to, whatever. Share the video on social media platforms. Click on the last reaction. I'm out of here, man.